Imagine screaming for help. Imagine running in a crowded place to save yourself from a life-threatening situation, only to find out that no one will save you. Eyes turn towards you, but no one helps. Dozens of silent witnesses, no heroes. They'll just watch as the crime unfolds, mere audience members wearing masks. This is what happened with 28-year-old Kitty Genovese, who was stabbed to death outside her New York apartment in 1964. There were dozens of people around her, yet no one came to her aid. It was seen that people around the crime scene did not help her at all, nor did they call the police. This infamous incident alone gave birth to the bystander effect, an effect you must have experienced at some point in your life and maybe even taken part in, and an effect that would make us feel responsible for not taking any action. This is the psychology behind this behavior. This is the bystander effect. Social psychologists Bibb Latané and John Darley made the concept of the bystander effect popular after the murder of the young lady Kitty Genovese. They gave two factors responsible for this behavior. One concerns social influence, and the other concerns the diffusion of responsibility. In a classroom full of students, you must have wanted to ask a question, but didn't, for fear of looking inadequate, or, in psychological terms, being judged. Similarly, in the bystander effect, witnesses want to act in a socially acceptable way, ways that won't be judged. And, in the time it takes the brain to find those ways, the response becomes unnecessary. The other reason is, if no one is helping, then why me? We copy their calm. Social expectations override moral instinct. In crowds, our sense of right and wrong tends to bend toward acceptance. Social influence also depends on others. In unclear situations, onlookers may want to observe others to see how they are reacting and how they perceive it. The more ambiguous the problem is, the less intervention the onlookers make. In a world where social image is calculated based on the actions you take in your life, the bystander effect justifies it beautifully. It states, when in a large social atmosphere, where you have to come out as a single entity and perform what's right, social expectations for behavior may influence your decision. When you ask someone whether they would help a person in distress or in an emergency, almost everyone responds with a resounding yes. But this answer depends heavily on the number of witnesses available during the emergency. The diffusion of responsibility is when the number of bystanders increases, the personal responsibility of you helping out a person in need decreases. According to the theories and studies, if the bystander is the only witness to an emergency, they might help. In simple terms, responsibility diffuses when there are multiple witnesses. The presence of others can make us less inclined to help. You want to, but you want someone else to step in. You do not wish to get into the situation yourself. You do not want to feel the responsibility of the problem when, of course, others are present in the premises. Another reason for not helping is that if no one is doing anything, it might not be an emergency. In a crowd, your mind whispers, someone else will help. So you wait, and so does everyone else. The result? No one moves. We convince ourselves it's not really an emergency, or that someone more qualified will step in. And in that moment of hesitation, tragedy seals itself. The moral obligation to assist does not fall only on one person, but on everyone present near the emergency. Assumptions play a vital role in the bystander effect. We assume things to ease us around the situation. We do not want to take the blame for not helping. Instead, we want to share the blame. The cost of not helping the person in need is guilt. This can be overcome by seeking expert help and relieving oneself of the situation and the guilt that follows. The bystander effect didn't disappear. It evolved. Today, people don't just stand still. They record. Street fights, accidents, bullying. Phones rise, empathy falls. We've replaced courage with camera angles. Technology didn't cure indifference. It amplified it. Even though the documented story of Kitty was highly inaccurate, it gave a new perspective on the psychology behind our actions. The bystander effect isn't about them, it's about us. Because evil doesn't always come from monsters. Sometimes it comes from the silence of good people, like us.